be different scenarios, different perspective. We might have to consider different things in that. Okay, let's say I'm going by Companies Act. As per Companies Act, it is saying as on computer, it is going to be 10%. Okay, sometime the Companies Act gave a direction not to consider 10%. Now let us consider 12% or 15%. It means the directive is giving you to change the rate of depreciation, or government may change its rule to change the rate of depreciation. So in such a case, we may have to do that. These are the two scenarios. Apart from that, the company, most of the times, some directive will give you the information, based on that you will consider. But apart from that, you may want to consider your own rate. Your business want to consider own rate. Let's say you have estimated a particular asset works for 10 years, and 10 lakh is the amount of the asset value. So thereby you are creating 1 lakh of depreciation every year. Now, after 2 years, you realize that the asset may not work for 10 years, it may work for 7 years. Or you may think of that, the asset may not work for 10 years, it will work for 15 years. Then what are you going to do? You will be revising your depreciation rate. That is that is the point where we can change our rate of depreciations.
Okay, thank you.
Right. So coming to the organization structure, fixed assets organization structure. On the top, we will have account determination. Then below to that, we will have asset classes. Okay. Below to that, we will have one more thing called screen layouts. Okay. And of course, below to that, we can see all our assets. This is what basically I can say fixed assets organization structure. Now, as I mentioned already about asset classes, basically to differentiate the type of the asset. Now, account determination basically helps in determining the relevant GL. Account determination will help us to get the relevant GL account. Now, what is this screen layout? Screen layout basically tells which are required entries, which are optional entries, and which are to be suppressed. Screen layout is just like our field status. So similarly, I mean, whatever we have done in our field status, we will be doing the same thing here in the case of screen layout. So what are required, what are optional, and all those stuff. Okay, so this is what basically the fixed assets organization structure. Any questions? Of course, you will come to know very clearly all these terms, that whatever we have discussed, all we'll be discussing in our sessions. Any questions? Okay, that's fine. So let's jump into the SAP and we will do our configuration. So the first and foremost thing is we need to create a chart of depreciation. So create chart of depreciation. So here, if you see over here, it is saying as a copy. So it means we are not creating the chart of depreciation. We will be copying the chart of depreciation from the existing. From the existing in the sense, SAP has already given the chart of depreciation for each country. So you can pick up the same thing, or if you want to have your own, we can select the relevant country's chart of depreciation and copy to your own chart of depreciation. Okay, so the path for this is IMG, financial accounting, asset accounting, then organization structure, copy reference chart of depreciation and depreciation areas, just execute. Here you have some points. First is a copy reference chart of depreciation. Double click on that. Now here you can see this. There is no option to create. You have an option called copy. Just select that. Now copy from which chart of accounts to which chart of accounts. So just select copy from, you will have a chart of accounts for every country. For every country, you will have one chart of accounts. Okay, this is a standard, the standard information that SAP will provide you as part of this software. For every country, you will have one chart of depreciation. Then, since our company is in US, I'm selecting 0 US and I want to copy it to 1248. Let's say my chart of depreciation going to be 1248. Just copy it. Whatever the depreciation areas there for this, all will get copied to this chart of depreciation. Okay, just say enter. Do you really want to transport number ranges? Do you want to have the transport number ranges also? If say yes, all will get copied. Otherwise, you can create your own. I'm saying no. I'm saying here chart of depreciation copied to 1248. 0 years 1248. See chart of depreciation 0 US completed activity. Chart of depreciation copied to 1248. Done. Okay, so we have created our own chart of depreciation 1248. It means we have copied it. Now double click on the specified depreciation areas of chart of depreciation. Now, how many depreciation areas are there for this 0 US? Just double click on this. 1248 is ours. 1248. Select the same thing. And here, this is, I'm sorry, one second. Yeah, this is a description. Basically, it is specifying about description. This is the third point is the important point. What are the depreciation there? We can see here. So this talks about only the description. So double click on this, go to 1248. Okay, and this is the description that you can see from the from the standard. So if you want, you can keep the same thing, or if you want, you can change. I'll say chart of depreciation 1248. Just save it. Description I have changed. Now the important is this one. Copy delete depreciation areas. Just double click on this, give our chart of depreciation. So from 0 US, we have copied it from 0 US, right? So these many 10 depreciation areas are there. If you want, you can use them. I mean, so based on the business requirement, we will be maintaining these. If you really don't want, then you can delete. How can you delete this? Just select the relevant one and just say delete. You can delete it here. And you have to copy, since we have our parallel currencies, right? Group currencies, we will have to copy from the standard one. I mean, from the one we just have to copy it. I'm not doing now. I'm not creating any depreciation areas for our group currency, and we will have one error. That time we will come back and do. So once the parallel currencies, we have created the parallel currency, right? Group currency. So since we have a group currency, we need to have one depreciation area for group currency. It is important. Now I'm not going to create them. It means I'm not copying it. But at the time of posting, we will have an error. We will come back here and maintain the same thing.
Yeah, Nanda.
Yes,
Okay. You see this depreciation area, sometimes I get confused with it. How do you know that you have to configure 10, 11, 12, 13, 30, 31, 32?
these are all the standard ones.
Standard.
SAP has, yeah, these are all the standard ones. If
Because
you
I
don't,
know that when you copy this depreciation area, sometimes companies will tell you to delete some of it.
yes, yes,
And
yes. And if they don't want certain things and if they want a new one, you can copy it.
copy it. Yeah, yes, I know. I know you can copy, but I'm just saying, okay, in case if you have, sometimes they have three or four, and they delete the rest of it, and sometimes they might even tell you to create one more, something
Right.
like that. So I just say that this will be part of workshop discussion.
Correct. Correct. Exactly.
Okay.
So we need to see, we have to pick up their, assets categories. What kind of assets do they have? I mean, furniture, fixture, plant, machinery, land, building, and the rates are to be considered. And for each of the asset, how many rates that they want to consider. Okay, that part is important. Okay, this is based on the discussion that you're going to have with your business. So let us assume I don't want to create here consolidation, book depreciation in group currency. I'm not going to keep all of them. I'm just deleting. Okay. Oh, one is also missed. I'm not going to save now. So double click here again on this one. I don't want to have these, so I'm deleting all of them. Okay, I'm just keeping 6 depreciation areas. Just save it. See here, 124801 chart of depreciation 1248. Assign a target ledger group. Assign a target ledger group for all these things it is expecting. So what is this chart of led this target group? It is expecting a target group. And here, as I mentioned, accounting principles. So if you want, you can maintain your accounting principles or you can ignore them. And this is for target groups. We have different groups here, right? We have different, we have already discussed about these points, right? So you can select the relevant groups, target groups. So this is as per leading ledger, this is as per the non-leading ledger, this is as per, you can maintain wherever you want to consider. Okay, so 0L, you can select 0L, or you can select the relevant ledger group. Okay, so you can maintain all of them. And the next is these are all the real time. It means all these are getting posted. But the real finance implication happening to one of the depreciation areas only. It means if you have one as areas in real